Well, hey, how y'all doing out there today? Yeah, I trimmed up a little bit. My sweetie's coming, so I want to be able to give her some sugars without looking like old Willie Booger. But other than that, I was just up there in the meadow talking with a brother of mine about some older events that have led to current events, and he asked some pretty broad questions. And with the new thing coming up with Scott Pruitt, I used to have a video that I could rely on giving folks and telling them what was going on with this Trump administration and how America has been sold as a resource country, just like Australia, just like many places around the world have been, but especially America and Australia. We've been sold, y'all. We've been bought by the Chinese, the Canadians, the Russians. They're buying our coal seam gas. They got most of y'all in 85% of y'all in cities already. The people are easy to control. They're going to break us down. We've got over 2.5 million miles of pipelines, more than any other country in the world. There you go. We've been sold, and I see it going on here in West Virginia. There's people that see it all around this country. But how that happened, that's what got me when my brother didn't kind of fully understand, and I had to explain it. I'm gonna tell you how it happened. It happened back around September 11th. When that's when they got control of our minds, and they got everybody afraid and needing the government and not paying attention. We were more worried about 9/11, and during those next 8 years, Dick Cheney, the vice president, also the former head exec, and Darth Vader God of Halliburton, got his way with offshore drilling, fracking, especially the fracking, and selling out our national parks and our land, our national parks, our recreational areas, our national forests, our waterways. He put them up for sale. And in 2007, he even made fracking exempt from the Clean Air, Clean Water, and Clean Land Act that we fought so hard for back in the 80s, and then won out, and they had to tell us the chemicals they were using. And let me tell y'all something about energy companies and people like Dick Cheney and companies like Halliburton and Exxon Mobil and BP and all these big companies. They do everything on 10-year plans. The laws that Dick Cheney, the Halliburton loophole, look it up. The laws that Dick Cheney and the Bush administration put in place were to be implemented within about the next 10 years. They have 10-year plans. So the next 8 years, we had a lull, didn't we? We had a Democrat in office, a supposed earth lover, and he stopped mountaintop removal, and he stopped them from dumping coal sludge in the creeks. And, well, he enforced the laws that were already there because we wasn't supposed to do all this stuff anyway. Everybody thinks Obama came in and did all this stuff. No, he actually enforced the Clean Air and Clean Water and Clean Land Acts. And he added on a little bit, but it was for the good of the land. It was like we're not supposed to dump coal, sludge, and radioactive material in creeks and rivers. We're not supposed to be doing what we've been doing and the practices we've been using for dumping sludge and toxic waste and fracking fluid. For the last 50, 60 years, we've been poisoning this land. So he gets in there and he tries to back it up. Everybody hates Obama. See, here's the setup, y'all. This is why they hire people like Linda McMahon to do entertainment. They get you where you hate Obama. The other side hates Obama so much that they would just undo even the good things he did for your health and for Mother Earth. But they knew this, and that's why they had him do it. That's why it made it seem like he signed all these executive orders, that it was Obama's environmental plans. It was the Democrats are all environments, and they're all need a safe place, and they're all snowflakes. Well, see, that was the lie that the conservatives fell for. So when somebody like Trump, and this is why they got Trump, y'all. What did Trump do before he became president? He sold massive amounts of real estate all around the world. This is the guy, this is the deal maker. Y'all wanted a businessman, you got one. So they got the deal maker, Trump. With Trump comes Tillerson, the head of Exxon Mobil, that had just made a $400 billion deal, almost a $500 billion deal with Russia right before the election when he was still working for Exxon Mobil. And all of a sudden, he's your Secretary of State. The Secretary of State is the person in politics or in our government that goes around the world and smooths things over with other countries, makes the deals behind the table to keep things running smooth and to keep them our allies. He's a top energy exec. You get it now? That's why they had Tillerson there. Now, you got this playboy. You're thinking they got this rich playboy named Scott Pruitt. He's a former Oklahoma governor, by the way. He's the reason why you're having all them earthquakes in Oklahoma all the time. He allowed the re-injection in Oklahoma. He fought the EPA. In fact, it's so ironic that he's the head of the EPA, or was, because I'm fixing to bust that game out right here and that lie out right here, right now. That he said 6 years ago he was going to bring down the EPA, completely crush the EPA. He said we didn't need it. So now he became the head of the EPA. And what did he start doing? He started getting rid of the regulations and getting rid of the laws and getting rid of all the structure that was there to protect you, to protect the American worker, mountaintop removal, coal sludge dumping, all these things Trump's been signing. Pruitt's behind in the EPA. Now, he did what he said he was going to do. He destroyed it, and he destroyed it for who? He destroyed it for big oil interests, not your interests, not to help the working man, not to help the coal miner in West Virginia. Nah, he poisoned all of America and got rid of all the regulations that were keeping you safe because they have sold America. You can't sell America with a bunch of rules and regulations on why they can't mine their new land they bought or they leased. If they lease some acreage, they want to frack it. The Chinese want to frack it. They can't have laws that tell them they can't frack. Trump administration with Scott Pruitt, they took those laws out. Now, you think Scott Pruitt was abusing the system and threw away a good political career? No. He didn't even want to be head of the EPA. He's a former governor, y'all. This is a sellout man for big oil. He's got retirement from big oil that him and a million people like him can live forever. I mean, he is super rich. This is one of those multi-millionaire/billionaires in there you think are taking care of your interests. No, he was put in there just to tear down the EPA, just like Tillerson was put in there just to make a few deals. And as soon as their job is done, they bow out, and you get to hear some bullshit excuse about, oh, I fired him, or oh, he was skimming off the top, or none of them are in jail, are they? Are any of them in jail? Did any of them lose any money? They're already multi-millionaire/billionaires. So have any of them lost anything? Their good name? They're energy executives. They're governors of energy raping fucking states like Oklahoma that allow people like Scott Pruitt to come in and ruin their state and ruin their people and their health and their land. Look at what's going on in Oklahoma. But then I told y'all about the other guy, Rick Perry, the guy at the Department of Energy. He has been stopping American big oil, like the locals around here, and he's changing the laws from the energy company saying they can only do so much. But now it's wide open to Chinese frackers. It's wide open to Russian oil drillers. You see what I'm saying? It's wide open to Canadian uranium mining. And Canada, you people up there, I know y'all don't like a lot of us Americans. I know you only care for a few of us. But, you had that little Suzuki girl. I can't remember that little girl's name. She came out there in 1992, and she stole the whole world for 6 minutes. And she told out she couldn't go salmon fishing with her dad in Canada. And she was talking about how everybody else was poisoning the world. And now you're letting a damn toxic pipeline come right down through the middle of America, and y'all ain't doing nothing about that up there. Huh? You can't tell Trudeau up there that you don't want this shit? Quit being like Trump. Quit being like American big oil. I mean, y'all are a great nation, but you're supposed to be peaceful. And you're supposed to care about other people. That little Suzuki girl, and read that, the Suzuki girl that stole the world's attention for like 6 or 7 minutes. That was 1992. This is 2018. And now you're dumping your sludge across our goddamn country, and it's done busted out in 2 places. Come on, man. Help us out. We'll help. And that's what we need to do here in America. I'm going to speak to Americans right here for a minute. You see, I just gave you the way you were sold out. Trump came in and lied and said he was going to give you something. He was going to give you jobs, and he was going to make America great. He wanted to make America. He wanted you to think that way. If we're going to be so great, why is our population going to be 54 million people or 99 million people in 2025? So what's going on with him and the way that he fooled you was to get your acceptance, like you saying, hey, it's okay to poison our rivers again. It's okay that our kids don't have clean drinking water. It's okay that we got methane in our water and it's catching on fire. And we got to make some money. We got to have these jobs. And poor people, they got to drink burning water, or they won't have no job. You failed for it. The whole time it was selling your America out. Your whole America's been sold. Every national forest, every national park, especially the Marcellus Shale. Look up the Marcellus Shale, y'all. This thing goes from like Maine to Alabama, and it's a big coal seam bed, and it's just going to get raped for all the coal seam gas and mountaintop removal coal mining that they can do. And the only people using this are the Russians and the Chinese. This ain't going to America. This ain't going for the American infrastructure. We already got ours from our people here, big oil in America, they're not going to give away their business. They're just selling shit that they couldn't get because they know that we have been slated as a resource nation. Agenda 21 had us all in cities. They wanted 85% of the population in cities. And as of 2016, 86% of us live in cities. Almost 86% of us live in those cities that they wanted to see. They're going to shut down America and say it's too polluted and too toxic. And they're going to have this, that, and other, and have reasons of pushing you away. They can control you. And the thing to prove it, they control your mind because you were more worried about 12,000 kids being separated from their parents here just recently than them announcing that they put those 12,000 kids in over 100 FEMA camps. 100 FEMA camps are on our soil. Over 100 FEMA camps. And the government said it. They said we took 12,000 kids and we put them in over 100 FEMA camps. So they got them. That's at least 2 a state right there, y'all. That's at least two of them in a state. So, but you know they're everywhere. They're at those all those closed Walmarts, 200 something closed super Walmarts. That's what they are now. They're FEMA camps, and we laughed at those people, including me. I had people laughing at me when I said, "Hey, they're turning Walmart, super Walmarts into FEMA camps." Oh, Bill, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, Bill, man, you better watch out for that government. That government's gonna get you, boy. Who the fuck's laughing now? Who's laughing now? Ain't none of this funny. We've been slated as a resource nation. We've been sold to the highest fucking bidder, and they're going to start. The illusion is we're Americans, and we got a government and an army that protects us. When all that's gone, what you going to do? What you going to do if you've already been sold to superpowers that broker human lives and land like ours like it's nothing? Because you're nothing to them. I'm nothing to them. Most of them ain't nothing to each other. There's only about 5,000 people on this planet that think they need to be here. And guess what? They only need 500 million people to keep it sustained. Somewhere on the motherfucking Georgia Guidestones, it says something about a population of 500 million under one government, under one source, one religion, one everything. And what's it going to do? Because half this planet's toxic and the other half, it's just been sold. That's for sure. We got things we need to think about, y'all. But this is why Scott Pruitt's gone. This is why they wanted Trump. They wanted the salesman. They wanted people like Scott Pruitt that knew how to take apart, that knew what to take apart, the laws and executive orders and the guidelines that the EPA held against super big companies that he represented as Oklahoma governor. He knew what laws needed to go. That's why they put him in there. That's why he got rid of them. No matter what the people said about them being poisoned, having cancer, nothing, he got rid of the laws that were keeping them safe. Now it's all back to the same old business. Decades of stuff taken away. That's why the Chinese said, okay, now we'll buy you. And then you notice as soon as Pruitt had made some, and Trump signed that executive order saying that they could dump coal sludge in their waste back into these creeks in West Virginia. Did you notice how quick the Chinese bought the state of West Virginia for $84 billion, bought out their fracking infrastructure and their coal seam gas infrastructure for $84 billion? Same thing they did to the Australians. When they got their EPA to agree to a few changes that were going to keep them down, keep them from making big money, they got it changed and they bought them out. And that's what they did here. But we ain't had nothing but figurehead people coming there from big oil, like I told you from the get-go, that Trump wasn't here for America, that none of these people he hired in, they were all there for a reason. Like Linda McMahon, you think she's there for small business? She's a billionaire, brilliant woman that made $1 billion off what? Entertainment industry. She is entertaining you while they got the guy from Hardee's feeding you and big oil's ripping you off and killing you behind your back. And you're cheering on the gladiators that ain't even there. You're cheering on wars of aggression that are going to be over because oil don't even matter no more. They're fixing to split this world up between Brazil, Russia, India, and China. You can bet that. And especially Russia and China. And they're going to be running what goes on. And this is a resource nation. So the America you once knew is gone. And you watch over the next 6 years. And you should be studying this because the only people that can stop this is we the people. And you know how we stop it? The first thing how we stop it. First you lose some fear and you get some nuts. Or you become very fearful and you seek some courage from inside yourself. And you look at your brother and you realize that American right beside you is all you got. I don't care what color he is. I don't even care where he came from. That's all you got is your brother on this soil. Because you think they're going to care if you're from another country, or if you're white, or you're black, or you're a rich Chinese guy, or whatever. You think they're going to care when they go through here and put people in FEMA camps and start taking this population down to what they need to run their pipeline resource infrastructure? You ever stop and think about that? They ain't going to save you. I don't care what kind of middle class job. I don't care how many times you voted for Trump. I don't care how many American flags you hang from your house. It ain't going to matter. There's only going to be a few people that stay in the United States, and they're going to be the slaves that run the pipeline infrastructure and drill out the rest of the oil, the rest of the natural gas, and just eat up that coal seam bed like they're going to do in South Australia too, to that big $20 trillion coal seam shale oil bed they got down there in South Australia. And it's going to ruin whole countries just to get energy resources, because where it's gone. They can't even feed the people in the world. How much less you going to think they're going to power their car and gas their car? Who's going to need those cars? There's about 2 billion Chinese over there. They don't, or 1.3 something billion Chinese over there that don't mind walking to work. So there you go. I need to think about this and put it together. But the reason why Scott Pruitt, Tillerson, and Trump, China and Russia have all been in the news is because they're all in bed together, and it's about selling America to other countries and other countries becoming the superpower. Think about it. We're the answer. We're the solution. We can keep this from happening, but we ain't going to do it fighting each other. You know that? We ain't going to do it fighting each other. We got to stick together, drop our petty shit here in America, unite for our planet and our brotherhood in our very own life. And then we'll get somewhere. Other than that, stick your head up your ass till you disappear. Because that's the only way to get away from this, or know how to live off this land. That's for sure. I love y'all. I want the best for you. But you need to think about it. So peace. Think about it and don't live in fear.